Hey, Country Changers. Welcome to the feature month of Hay Shire. I'm joined by Nicholas Harrison. Hey, Nicholas, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Laticia. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
That's good.
I have been to Hay Shire recently, and I have to say it's changed a lot, and it's really grown up and blossomed in many respects. So, really looking forward to sharing more about Hay Shire with the audience because I can imagine not a great deal of people have probably been out there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? What drew you back to Hay? Because I know you were born in the
Yep.
region. So tell us about your journey, I guess, when you left, why you came back.
Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, so I'm born and bred in Hay, so I think I'm either the sixth or seventh generation of Harrison to be within the area. So, and my experiences growing up was just, I absolutely adored my childhood. I adored everything about it. So then obviously went my primary school, my secondary education was here in Hay. Then it came to go out and explore the big wide world. So I left in the beginning of 2002 to go and do an apprenticeship in Sydney. So yeah, so there's the opportunity that happened there. So then throughout my working career for the next 20, 30 years, I was predominantly away out of Hay. However, I always had the connection with Hay. I've been with the family, but also with many of my friends were still also located in Hay. So it's like I was coming back for Christmas, weekends, birthdays. So always kept the connection. So then I just recently married, have family of my own, and yeah, then saw the opportunity to be able to come back to Hay to not only continue our working careers, my wife and myself, but also to raise our children, three young boys, in a small community. So that was definitely a big draw card for us to move
Yeah.
back.
And I've just brought up a map of Hay Shire for people, oops, went a little bit too far out, who may not know where it is. It's north of Melbourne. From memory, it's about 6 hour drive from Melbourne. Am I
Uh, but yeah, about 5 hours.
by 5 hours?
Yeah.
And then directly west, sorry, of Sydney. And Canberra's also there. But from a major centre perspective, you're really close to Griffith. Wagga's not too much further, and then obviously Albury. So you've got a nice sort of selection of bigger centres. But for those who haven't been to Hay Shire, how would you describe it? Like, what are some of the I'm going to bring up some pictures as well. But how would you describe it? One of the most, I guess, um, famous sites is probably the Hay. I'm sorry, that wasn't the picture I was trying to bring up.
No, you're
But
right.
this sunset type shot over the Hay Plains is probably one of the most recognizable to people. How would you describe it?
Yeah, well, so I suppose I'll go back a step there. So usually everyone's kind of like a visual of Hay or memory of Hay is doing one of Australia's favourite pastime as the Great Australian Road Trip. So everyone seems to have that whole memory of driving through Hay and driving across the Hay Plains.
Mm.
So where there's a flat expanse of the Australian outback, no trees, no hills. However, Hay has a lot more to offer than that stunning vistas, as you can see in a lot of the photos there. So we're located along the Murray, correction, the Murrumbidgee River, which is a fantastic asset to the town. So even though when you're driving across, you see those vast expanses, when you actually get to the Hay Shire, we're actually quite a river focused town where there's lots of nature walks, and as you've seen a few of the photos there as well.
Mm. It's a
So
lovely walk along there. I've done
that's exactly right. And so going along with that, and so then those kind of like places make it very family friendly. So you
that.
come down, walk along there. There's actually a lot of free camping there, a lot of wonderful motels, caravan parks to be able to set yourself up. Then to come and enjoy Hay itself. So we've got like great sporting facilities. And within New South Wales and also Western Riverina, so Southwest Riverina, we actually bat quite well above our average for the facilities in which Hay has to offer, being not only the sporting fields, the free pool, and endless amount of parks. So there's quite a fair bit to do. And those way inclined as well, we have numerous museums because with the age of how old Hay is, back in the
Mm.
1850s when the township itself was formed, so it's quite a old township and an old shire within not only New South Wales but also wider Australia.
Yeah. And I can vouch for all of the facilities and um, I guess the opportunities not just to have an outdoor active lifestyle with all the beautiful nature walks, but some great Pilates yoga studios and things like that. People think that you wouldn't have in such a regional town, but it really has, as I said at the beginning, it's had a glow up, and we've got lots of amazing people who've moved back to region or moved into region and brought some of those city elements to it, which is really lovely. And that community aspect. Your wife wasn't from the region, however, you did meet her in region.
I
Uh,
did, I did.
so, what's it been like coming back with a young family?
So again, I'll go back to what I said to start off with. So I thoroughly enjoyed my childhood. So once I left Hay, I always had that in the back of my hand. I'd really love if I did have a family in the future, to come back and experience the same kind of things that happened to me, which is fast forward 15, 20, 25 years. And that's where I was in the situation where I could do that. So and this was in a climate that post-COVID. So noting that we hadn't been able to come home for a little while, and then there's more opportunities to be more flexible with your working arrangements. So it's actually my wife, even though she's not from Hay, she said, righto, we're moving back to Hay, taking the kids. So you sort your life out, I'll meet you there. And that's more or less how it all happened. And it's been a wonderful journey ever since. So my wife moved into our now family home and start bringing up our three boys. Yes, three boys can be a handful, but I think Hay is one of the best places where that could actually for them to grow up with the abundance of spaces for them to go and blow out their energy, which they all know they have a lot of energy. But so there's sporting, there's cricket, but there's also facilities like the schools here in Hay, actually very, very, very good. So coming from not only the private schooling in Adelaide, Canberra, and also Queensland, definitely the schools in Hay fares very highly amongst them all.
Mm,
So it worked well. Plus, also it was also the ability to not only have our family network here in Hay, being through my extended family, but also the biggest drawing card moving back here was my wife's ability to still be able to have her high profile job while still living in a regional area. So that is what more or less the the key for us to make that big move. So we're
yeah,
very
absolutely.
fortunate.
Absolutely. And we were talking about your wife's role. She is in finance, she's in a state managerial role for a bank. And I think it's great to be able to have that as I guess, example that you don't have to live in a city to have a profile corporate job. You can live and work remotely and have all the benefits that come along with that. And, the thing that jumps to mind mostly is not 3 hours in a car or a train or a bus getting to and from work each day. You get 3 hours of your life back.
That's exactly right. And so you do get that back, and there's that better quality of life. However, conversely to that, is like what my wife has found, and like myself as well, is that you actually end up working harder and longer for the business as well. So because you're not stuck in traffic, you don't have to leave at okay, I've got to leave right on 5 to make sure that I get the like the B train to get the number 2 bus to be able to get home on time. You can just say, okay, I'll just finish this presentation. So you put another 15, half an hour on that because you know your boys are going to be fine because like they're at your grandparents' house or they're at your friend's house or they're over at the park, which is just across the road playing football. So those are the benefits that come along with it. So and yeah, then as I said, the quality of life is just just yeah, so good. I know that's a very poor way of putting it, but yeah, that's yeah, the quality of life. Because what you actually gain from knowing, like your next door neighbour, little old Mrs. Smith at the end of the street, so you know everyone in town, and it's like they genuinely care. So and
Mm.
they're always looking out for not only yourself but also for your children as well.
Yeah. And we have more information about Hay Shire on the Country Change website. Under our places, head to Hay Shire. And on here, you'll find some great, beautiful testimonials. Ash, the local police officer, who's just absolutely gorgeous. Some contact information, and then just general information about population, housing, transport options, and industry, because there are lots of different types of industry. Yes, it's regional. Yes, it's rural, but there are so many other, as we've heard, professional jobs and bring a business. So many people move to regions and start their own business once they've had a discussion with local people like councils. They go, okay, there's a gap here. There's an opportunity that fits in with my skill set. So, as we wrap up, is there any other words of advice that you'd offer people or thoughts that you'd like to leave with them?
Yeah, well, so it's a big step when you're making that whole kind of like, okay, I'm going to make a tree change. However, that once you make the step, and so you definitely won't regret it. And so an example that I'd use is that my wife, she was the catalyst for moving back to Hay, even though deep in my heart I always wanted to move back to Hay. And we've loved every moment since. So some of her best friends from Melbourne, so they saw how much that we loved Hay and how well it was bringing up our children. Is that they've decided to make the move from Melbourne as well, and they've never looked back. And then her extended family has done the same thing. So it's just those little steps and taking that plunge into the unknown is that's where it's been so rewarding, and we can
Yeah.
see that flow on effects with many, many more people.
Yeah, and we hear that a lot, that friends and family see what kind of lifestyle their family and friends are having, and they decide to make the move as well. So I think it's a great testament to the location and region. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate it.
No worries at all, Letitia. Thank you.